For the next 72 hours, we're gonna try to visit the highlights of the southernmost part of continental USA, the Florida Keys. Hi, I'm Nico, and this is Wes. Limited by full-time jobs, few vacation days, and a routine at home, we still try to explore the world and prove that it is possible to travel without quitting your career goals and leaving your life behind. We are now in country number 24, specifically in Florida Keys, where we're gonna try to explore some of the 1,700 islands in only 72 hours. Connected by the iconic overseas highway, the Florida Keys offer a slice of paradise unlike any other. There are 30 officially inhabited islands, and the last one of them, Key West, is only 90 miles away from Cuba and is known as the southernmost point of continental USA. But more about that later. Now, back to the first gem of the Keys archipelago, Key Largo. We made it to our first place in the Keys, in Key Largo. Key Largo is mostly known for the John Pennekamp Reef Park. Founded in 1963, this is the first ever underwater park of the USA and a vital part of the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. The park is renowned for its stunning coral reefs, which you can see when booking one of the many snorkeling or diving tours.
Go into the water.
We personally booked a snorkeling tour with Sea Dwellers for $70 per person, which lasted around 3 hours and took us to 2 different reefs. So that was an experience. It was really wavy, big waves, and the boat was shaking so much. We were both so nauseous. I somehow kept it together.
I lost a bit of myself on the boat.
He fed the fish.
I got some fish bait for everyone else.
In Key Largo, we stayed at Amar Dive Resort, which we really adore. A very curated hotel with attention to detail. Amar offered free kayaks and paddle boards, and we definitely enjoyed them to the fullest.
I'm not super good at this.
Key Largo is not necessarily famous for its beaches, so we were glad to have one for ourselves at the hotel. Real quick, if you've liked this hotel and would like to see other ones we've stayed at, make sure to check planning.com. Planning is essentially a booking platform, just like booking.com, but what makes it so unique is the fact that it is also a creator platform. Creators like us get to share their hotel recommendations, honest reviews, and of course the content that they made during their stay. Book with Planning and receive exclusive discounts up to 40% on your hotel stay. Elevate your experience with trusted recommendations from creators you like, and personalize your trip with creators that share your same tastes and interests. All you need to do is scan the QR code somewhere on the screen, make an account, and book your stay. Now back to our adventure in the Florida Keys. From the charming small fish of John Pennekamp Reef Park, we found ourselves face to face with hungry, gigantic tarpons.
It bit you. Yep. Does it hurt?
No, not really.
The second island of the Keys archipelago we recommend visiting is Islamorada. Like most of the islands here, Islamorada is famous for its water sports and water activities. However, that is not what attracts most tourists here. At Robbie's of Islamorada, you can feed gigantic tarpons right from your hand.
Scared are you?
Very. Yes, expect to have some friendly competition from the pelicans. You might be wondering why a diner and restaurant became a popular place for tarpon feeding. It all started with Scarface, a wounded tarpon that appeared in the shallow waters of the dock and was rescued and stitched by Robbie and his wife Mona. After being released back into the wild, Scarface kept on coming back to Robbie's, bringing more and more friends each time.
Now let's talk history. Islamorada was first discovered by the Spanish in 1533. They gave it its name, the Purple Island, because the sky turns completely purple during sunset. The island's history takes us back to a very important event in 1733. A Spanish treasure fleet met its fate in one of the coral reefs near the island, all caused by a hurricane. This incident gave rise to the salvage industry, where locals retrieved cargo from the sunken ships. This caused troubles with the ship owners. In their eyes, it was their belongings that they were selling. They wanted to share the profit. Yet these services were crucial for the economy, because otherwise all the profit, all the material would just be gone. Unfortunately, these problems completely escalated in 1940 when new locals clashed with Native Americans. A true massacre became reality. Indian Key and Islamorada.
The Florida Keys are a popular tourist destination, and sometimes all the travel noise will leave you a bit exhausted. That is why, for our second day in the Keys, we decided to escape the crowds and experience the tranquility of Big Pine Key. Nestled in the lower Florida Keys, Big Pine Key is known for its abundant wildlife and specifically... Oh my god, there's a deer!
Where?
The key deer, member of a subspecies of the Virginia white-tailed deer, is found nowhere else in the world. It is thought that they came to the Keys from the mainland across a long land bridge and were isolated from their relatives somewhere from 6,000 to 12,000 years ago. We were invited by Barnacle Bed and Breakfast to experience their beautiful piece of paradise in the Keys, away from the crowds and immersed in nature. We absolutely loved this bed and breakfast, and specifically the stunning sunsets we witnessed from their terrace.
Wow. Jesus, look at that.
As Big Pine Key was overflown by seaweed during our visit, which by the way cannot be removed as it is crucial for the ecosystem, we visited the famous Bahia Honda State Park only 7 miles away. At Bahia Honda State Park, you'll find a beautiful secluded white sand beach between the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. So cool! Beyond beach activities, visitors can explore hiking trails, kayak on the pristine water, and discover a variety of flora and fauna. If you're passionate about history, this park holds a historic relic very important to the Florida Keys.
Guess who's back? Meet my assistant professor. Bahia Honda State Park's history is completely intertwined with its bridge. Why is a train track history? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Henry Flagler had a dream to connect the mainland of Florida to the Keys, the islands of Florida, and he was gonna build a train track. Unfortunately, the hurricane of 1935 Labor Day completely destroyed the structures of this train track. The state chose not to repair it but close it, and later it became the foundation of the overseas highway. Train tracks are being recycled. It's quite cool.
Our Florida Keys 72-hour adventure could not end without visiting one of its most vibrant and culture-filled islands, Key West. Known as the southernmost point of continental United States, Key West struck us with its liveliness and friendly locals. This key has a lot to offer, and we definitely recommend staying here for at least 2 days. But if you're on a schedule like us, here are the top 5 activities we recommend while in Key West. Indulge in delicious Cuban food at Cuban Coffee Queen. Taste the island's signature dessert, the key lime pie, at Kermit's Key Lime Shop.
It's the best key lime pie ever.
Well, I guess we gotta go in now. Oh my god, it's so good. Enjoy live music at one of the many lively bars. Go for a swim at one of Key West's beautiful beaches. A huge American pizza in the beach. Explore Key West's historic landmarks like the Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum. And if you're lucky, you might actually meet Ernest Hemingway himself.
I'm Ernest Hemingway.
And of course, if you're a history nerd like me, you can explore Key West's story all the way back to its discovery by the Spanish in the 16th century. At the time, nobody was living there, but later it emerged as this vibrant port town and a very strategic point for the USA Army. During the late 19th century and the early 20th century, Key West experienced a lot of immigration waves. It was then when the cultural and vibrant atmosphere in Key West was created. Nowadays, the cultural experience in Key West is deeply influenced by Cuba and all the Cubans that came in those immigration waves. History out.
Guess we're in the USA after all. Right now, alligators are not the thing you have to fear most in Florida. It's the creature, hungry creature walking in front of me.
Belongings.